YouTube, we're here to talk about evil today. Evil comes in many shapes and forms, and sometimes comes in the shape of old men who are dead. That's right, we're talking about Epstein today, but not just about Epstein's files. We're talking about the cover-up the White House is currently doing. Ooh, scandalous. As three people, one from New Zealand, one from the UK, and myself from Canada, we feel like we are horribly inept to talk about this, but hey, let's take it away by the good homie, Zevi. So let's get to some reacting. Hit the like button, subscribe button, leave a comment down below. You know what to do, baby. The code word for today is files. And check out the Patreon where we upload Game of Thrones reactions. Anyways, let's get into it.
Trump and his team had a problem. They finally released the Epstein files, and they basically said they didn't find anything. Now, as you could imagine, this was a problem for a lot of folks because it just wasn't believable for a majority of people. For those that don't know, everything surrounding Epstein was seemingly very well documented. Now, real quick, this rundown right here, this part's a YouTube exclusive. It's turning to a vertical style in like a few minutes. Now, what I mean by well documented is Epstein was clearly a monster. Now, that monster had an island, and on that island, he committed very heinous crimes. But also on that island was a bunch of cameras. Now, the purpose of that camera seemed to be for blackmail because Epstein had very powerful friends that would join him on that island and join him in committing these heinous crimes. And when I say powerful friends, I mean some of the most powerful people on the planet would show up to Epstein's island and hang out. Hey, look, it's Bill Gates. Now, Donald Trump and his team's response to all the cameras was, it was just Epstein on the cameras. It was literally just him filming himself committing these heinous acts. No other powerful people, which just sounds totally unbelievable. Now, another thing they said that sounds unbelievable was Epstein himself. Now, the general belief is that these same powerful people that Epstein was filming on his island had him when he was arrested. So
that was a part that right before we started recording, I was just like telling Dawn a little bit about that. But yeah, so the thing about Epstein is that him and Ghislaine Maxwell are both two monsters of human beings. Now, Ghislaine is a little bit different because she's alive.
Oh, okay.
And she's the one who would, bar for bar, a great example I can tell you specifically was in the Florida compound that Epstein owned. Ghislaine would target low-income high school students that were women, and she would lure them to the house to give Epstein massages while he was naked and pay them an extra $50 to do sexual favors. She made sure she targeted trailer homes in areas of low income as much as she possibly could to extort these young girls who were from the ages of 13 to 16.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. So she is and also she would also participate as well.
Is she alive right now?
She's alive right now. She just got removed from a maximum security prison and moved over to a minimum security prison as of a few weeks ago. Yep. So this going on right now.
Wow.
This
would
whatever's
her crime? Yeah, I guess nonsense, isn't it? Yeah, fair.
I mean, she's just everything, right? She did everything the same.
Maximum security prisons were only for like murderers and stuff.
Well, she human trafficking is under that. She took young girls, solicited them, and sold them off. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So when you take young girls and you put them in planes and send them off to an island to go be R-worded.
Oh,
that's human trafficking.
I thought you meant when you explained it, you didn't say.
Sorry.
I thought you literally just meant.
No, I was giving one example.
So you found young trailer girls.
That's one example.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
that's under
for that would have been
exploitation of a minor. It's got additional like 5 charges to that for that part right there. But yeah, there's like she's the biggest lure because since she's a woman, people found her less threatening, so it was easier for her to lure.
Yeah, to
the
manipulate
victims.
the girls in it. They'd be like, oh, okay, yeah.
And she would like groom the hell out of them to make them stay and stuff. It was, So she's like the master of getting it done. And he was like the one to get everyone in there because for the powerful side. Yep.
God,
so
damn.
she is very much equally at fault. And the fact she got moved to minimum security prison for people who like are white collar tax evaders is insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did she get the same amount of time as him?
Technically, I don't remember her sentence right now, but they're trying to go through and make her make more statements now. And she's giving them conditions. She goes, if you want me to talk, you have to give me blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, fuck off.
Oh my God. Like,
and, sorry, my big thing is also that
why can't they do that? Let her out and then just be like, psych. And then just put
shake her.
Like, do something, get rid of it.
She'll probably get a contract though, isn't it?
The thing that's like really upsetting too is that like there's literally a voice recording of Jeffrey Epstein saying Trump is his best friend for 10 years. And then There's also a recording of Trump saying, my boy Jeff, him and I have been friends for 15 years. That guy is a great guy. So,
he's definitely on that list.
And his defense was, I said Jeff. That doesn't mean it could be Epstein. After there's already a recording of Epstein saying Trump's my best friend in an interview.
What a cheeky little president.
little fun. So, I mean, the one thing that's kind of cool about this, though, is that's really uniting everybody politically. Like, no one here, it doesn't matter which party you're with, everybody's like, dude, release the Epstein shit. No one gives a fuck which political party you're with. There was kids harmed, and that's all that matters. And it is incredibly based. It's pretty nice to see, like, the country, like, actually, like, the America in particular, to come go together over something.
So Epstein wouldn't snitch on them. But nobody really cared, because, again, Epstein was a monster, so they're like, well... But now people care. I don't think people care about the fact that Epstein is. They care about how he was. Because if powerful people are the people that him, cool. But where are those powerful people, though? You know what I'm saying? Because now people want those same powerful people that seemingly had him. They're saying, okay, well, it's not over, though. We want all of y'all. But Donald Trump and his team are basically saying, no, it was just Epstein.
I do want to mention as well, there are people on the Democratic side as well who were also associated with Epstein. Just to make sure I put that out there too. So it wasn't just Trump. It was all sides of the political spectrum. Anyone with power and money, morals were out the window.
Wow, everybody's Peter.
Everybody. Woo! That's why everybody is united on it, because like the populace is united, because it's like, it's not about political parties. It's about protecting children and victims of the situation, right?
Himself, case closed. Why are y'all still talking about this? Literally, they're saying, why are y'all still talking about this? Now, as you can imagine, this is pissing people off, and people are not going for it, especially because of what Donald Trump and his team were doing and saying before they released the files. Now, I'm gonna explain further, but let's switch to that vertical style right here. Now, listen closely. Before Donald Trump and his team released the files, they actually seemed really excited to show the world what they found, especially Donald Trump's Attorney General, Bondi. She's important. Remember that name. Now, again, this is before the files were released. She hops on Fox News and says, like I said, trust this administration. Everybody who was on Epstein's Island going to jail. The anchor says, how you know who was on Epstein's Island? You got a list? She says, man, I'm looking at it right now on my desk. The anchor said, you got that list? Like, for real? She said, stop playing with me. It's right here. It's right here. But remember, when they released the files, they said they didn't find anything. There was no list. Trump administration mistake number one. Now, to understand mistake number two, we have to look at the FBI director under Donald Trump. Cash. Another lie. Before the list was released, Cash is on Joe Rogan's podcast. Cash says, we ain't find no videos on Epstein's Island. It was clear at this point something changed in the Trump administration. They went from excited to show everybody everything to we found no videos. We found nothing. Joe Rogan says, what about all the cameras on Epstein's Island? Cash says, what cameras? If I had videos, I would show you right now. No videos of Epstein. There's no video. But when they release the files say something different. They say they did find videos. All of the videos being of Epstein, no other powerful people. Now, Bondi and Cash both made huge mistakes because they said statements that are either true or a lie. Again, Bondi said, I am looking at the client list right now. They released the Epstein files. Suddenly, there's no client list. Cash said, no videos exist. They released the files. They said, no, we found videos. So people immediately called.
Yep. So this shit hella shady. Ooh.
It's the whole goddamn cover up.
Hell yeah, brother. So Don, thoughts and opinions so far?
Yeah, it's fucked. I was an investor. I was watching.
Oh, you're just in the zone. My bad.
Yeah.
Just checking in, just making sure you involved. That's all. I got you, bestie.
All the Trump administration out. They say, we've caught you in a few lies. How many other things are you lying about? Now, here's where things start to get stupid. I'm serious. Prepare your ears. Bondi comes out and says, why does everybody think we lying? We released the files. We ain't find nothing. Why y'all think we lying? Everybody said, well, when you was on Fox News, you said you had a list of everybody who was on Epstein's Island on your desk. Then y'all released the files and say y'all ain't know who was on that island. Bondi said, man, I ain't never said I had no list of his clients. Y'all tripping. Everybody said, that you, girl? She said, I don't know. I didn't mean the client list. There's no client list. Everybody said, well, that's suspicious, but let's put a pin on that. Cash, you said there's no videos. Now you saying there are videos. Can we see the videos? Cash said, everybody said, don't say you ain't say that. Cash said, that me? He releases a video of the day Jeffrey Epstein gets. It's 11 hours of footage to prove nothing suspicious happened to Jeffrey Epstein and he just himself. But in this 11 hours of footage, a minute gets skipped. It goes from like 58
No
to
fucking
59.
way.
Hey, yo! The Attorney General says, oh, you know what?
suspicious.
That always happens. There's a malfunction that the cameras in that prison have. It's stupid.
It gets
At this
better.
point, people really feel like they're getting lied to, so they have to have a full-on sit-down press conference. Reporters ask, okay, what's going on with the Epstein files, y'all? Donald Trump opens his mouth to say, are we still talking about the Epstein files? Meanwhile, there's so much going on in the world. My heart goes out to Texas. Gaslighting 101. The Attorney General says, don't worry, I'll answer the question. We don't know. There's nothing in the files. And that's the story they're sticking to. Now, this is a huge issue for Donald Trump's base. They're stereotypically very distrustful of the government, as most people are. But that's why Donald Trump came out in the first place saying, we're going to expose all these Epstein files and y'all could trust the government again. And then they get caught in all these lies, so it backfires. And many people in Donald Trump's base are upset with him right now. So Donald Trump's response was just to...
Okay, before we go into the response, one more thing to tell you guys about when it comes to that footage missing is that people went into the metadata of the video and they found out it was spliced. Yeah.
Splice
No
meaning
shot.
it was tampered with.
Yeah.
Means that it was cut.
Oh.
It was cut.
And like it's
God
so
damn.
easy
You know
to
what?
go
So it's just blatantly
through.
obvious.
Yeah, it's so easy for
They could
people.
have lied better than that, right?
Like,
You could have just made like several. You could have made like several edits in the video to be like, what? It wasn't just this 1 minute.
It'd just be like,
It was
yeah, this happens like every like 5
throughout the whole
seconds,
day.
and
We
blah,
just
blah,
stay
blah, blah.
updated.
Like, my fucking
But it's like once the metadata showed and people fished in, they were so cooked. Even Moist Critical actually made a video about that too, which is like how I actually found out about that part. Because I knew about like the video having an error. I didn't know about the splice until he talked about the splice. And I was like, oh shit. And I told my partner
That's
about it and he goes,
insane.
oh yeah. And he started explaining to me more about like how metadata works and stuff. And I was like, oh damn, bitch. This shit crazy. Anyway, so...
He was murdered. Oh shit.
Jesus.
Somewhere on another island.
Definitely, but the thing is, right, is like, damn, these motherfuckers gotta get got, man. Like, all these people gotta be in jail. All these powerful ass motherfuckers. Who cares, man? The fact that their money can hide them this badly is insane.
blame the Democrats.
Sounds-
He literally
sounds
said
always been
Hillary
though.
Clinton and
True.
Obama created the Epstein files. But what annoys me the most is they still haven't released everything on the documents, and they're saying they're not releasing everything because they're trying to protect the victims. Which makes me wonder who they think are the victims. But at the end of the day, I think Donald lost a lot of fans with this one. And to the remaining fans,
Donald's
you can't
a
ignore this moment. Donald Trump and his team say Jeffrey Epstein committed all those crimes by himself. Stand by your
Cap.
boy. Then go stand in front of a mirror and say, wisdom is chasing me, but I am faster.
Now, I also want to add this ending as well. You need to be mindful of all the news outlets and people in general using the same rhetoric as Donald Trump and his administration. How you should forget about this whole thing and this isn't a huge deal. There's other things to worry about. They're basically trying to shame people for thinking about this situation. I saw a clip of Stephen A. Smith talking to Chris Cuomo or whichever Cuomo, basically saying like, why are people even still talking about this Epstein stuff? Like, I got a life outside of this. I'm trying to go out on a Friday night. And I'm thinking,
That's the most brain dead
He must be on the
shit.
list.
it's just so clear why
He must be.
people are-
He must be
honestly.
on the list.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that people like Stephen A. Smith and news outlets are not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like Epstein committed some of the worst crimes imaginable with other powerful people that we may vote for, powerful people that we may buy things from. Their power excludes them from justice. This is, I feel like, a valid thing to worry about. The fact that people are telling you, why are y'all still thinking about this, is ridiculous to me. Because it basically
It's a
says
huge
out
red
loud
flag
what
for those
people
people.
have already kind of known. If you're rich and powerful, you can get away with anything. Your own government will cover for these people. Again, I think many people have known a lot of times governments are not on your side. They're on the side of folks that are super rich and powerful. But I think the fact that this time it's just so obvious what's happening that it's really frustrating people. I think a lot of times people feel comfortable with calling something a conspiracy. That means they don't have to deal with it. They don't have to distrust their government. Okay, we good. Life can resume as normal. But this situation is just such a bad cover-up that people don't really have a choice but to be like, oh God, they have to confront reality. We have to confront
Yeah, that's
reality,
true.
which is a good thing, I feel like. So again, the fact that news outlets and people like Stephen A are saying, yo, don't confront reality. We going out on Friday night. Why are y'all thinking about this? It just angers me, you know, to another level. Because
it's also really important right now, right, for people to not let it. So what happens is that especially when there's controversy, people will play the news game. They'll be like, cool, it's brought up. If you just let it pass and ignore it, you'll go into the next news cycle, right? But it's like the more that as a populace, people keep talking about this and it keeps being a main factor that's perpetuated, the less that government officials are allowed to ignore it because they're being pressured still to this day, right? Normally a story would have died by now, but it's because of the people's outrage that it's able to last the way that it has. So, and also monetary wise, because a lot of these papers and shit who are still bringing this up, or interviewers who are bringing this up, they get higher viewership for bringing up Epstein, right? They get higher viewership because you know what? The populace is supporting it. Pressure the officials. We want to see it, right? So,
because it's bringing back society. It's bringing people back. Crimes like the one that Epstein committed need to be brought out to the light. I think we can all agree on that. Yep. Everybody who committed these crimes with him need to be brought out to the light. The fact that they're covered up is one thing. And then the fact that people are saying, just forget about it, just really makes me think about the victims. Because what happens when something like this happens again? We just forget about it again. It just sets a precedent that I'm not liking for the future. So this is one of those things, man. This is one of those things that we got to battle back on. It's one of those things that needs to be remembered. If we all can't get up and riot about it, I think it being remembered is a lot bigger than people may think. JFK, Martin Luther King, those were turning points in American history when people stopped trusting their government, things that were remembered. That really screwed the government for decades to come. It made it harder for the government to just tell people what to do, which in my opinion is a good thing. The government is just your employee. You should be questioning everything your employee does that may go against your interests. So hopefully a 100%. Moment like this allows people to question things a little more about their government. Anyway, that being said.
Yeah, like it's really important to have critical thinking about anything that you consume, right? And again, like I do want to reiterate is that this is about powerful people no matter which side of the political spectrum. There's just a lot of people that need to go down for committing crimes. And the fact that their money and status can hide them the way that it has for this long is disgusting. And the more we like criticize and are critical of everybody, when it comes to those in authoritative power, like the better, right? It's just because you got money shouldn't make you free to do crime, right?
100%. 100%.
Diddy got away with it.
Yeah, we got to go over the Diddy stuff. Yeah, because I was following the trial early on because it wasn't public. There was no like broadcast of the trial or anything. I was just like watching update channels who like went and like wrote reports and stuff about it. But it just got too heartbreaking, so I didn't actually keep up with it all the way through. It was too heavy. And then the ruling came out and you got a slap on the wrist, and I was just like, I don't even know how that came to be. But we might have to check that out. Yeah, Don, do you know anything about the ruling for Diddy? I don't know anything. I just know that it was a slap on the wrist. I just know he didn't get hit with the heavy shit.
I didn't really follow that, to be fair with you.
Well,
but we should just cut off every powerful everyone who is involved in this Epstein file that is either covering it up, touched little kids, or was involved in any sort of way. Bring back murder. What do they call it?
Capital punishment.
When they capital punishment, kill them. And then they should just give everybody in the country, give money to the victims. Everybody else in the gets money.
And you know what? If you kill them, how about the money from the motherfuckers who hurt them? We give it over to them.
All their money doesn't go to their family, it goes to everybody in America or wherever.
I like that.
But it's so, because it's insane that the government's lying that fucking poorly.
It's so obvious.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he said, it's like if it was conspiracy, fine, we could be like, okay, it's conspiracy, we don't know the truth about it. But because it's so fucking bad that they're lying, it's just like, oh God, we actually know that you're lying now. You said it on TV that you've got files. You said that there's no videos. And I'm like, man, it's just so... It's like, you think about it's like, how dumb do you think we actually are?
That's exactly what they're relying on.
They cover up so much stuff.
They genuinely think they can gaslight the entire world.
God damn.
So stupid.
That's frustrating.
So stupid.
That's so frustrating. Man, if I was American, I would probably not do anything about it, but I'd be pissed.
Man,
Same.
one day we're gonna go over America's human experimentation. That wasn't that long ago. One of the first big
That sounds
mistrusts
fun.
with the government.
I love human experimentation.
Yep, that shit. It gets pretty heavy, but that's the first big mistrust within the American government.
I'm a fan of that though.
Should we hop into that?
If you want to, sure. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks for love and support always. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. BRB.
Bye.